SONiC is more than a data plane programming framework. It's a software architecture that's changing how we build networking applications. Let's break down this architecture into simple terms. It all starts with an idea. Imagine you want to add a VLAN 10 to the network. You type VLAN 10 add. But where does this command go? Enter config db, the home of your configuration. This database stores all your configuration settings. Think of it as a big library with all your networking rules written in a language that humans can understand. But that's not the end of the story. The next stop on our journey is APPLDB, the application database. It's like a warehouse where various networking apps live. These apps are like little workers that do specific tasks like routing or managing access to the network. Our VLAN 10 add command has made it to the APPLDB. Now it's time for an app called FRR, which is like a boss that makes sure traffic follows the right path in the network, aka routing. FRR reads the BGP configuration from the APPLRDB and starts making decisions about how to route traffic based on your rules. But wait, there's more. FRR also needs to talk to the hardware to actually make the VLAN happen. That's where ASIC DB comes in. Think of ASIC DB as a translator. It takes the instructions from the APPLDB and turns them into something the hardware understands. In our case, it's translating VLAN 10 add into something the switch chip can work with. Now the instructions have reached the final destination, the hardware, also known as the ASIC. ASIC stands for Application-Specific Integrated Circuit. It's the physical switch chip inside your network device. It's like the factory floor where all the magic happens. The ASIC receives the translated instructions from ASIC DB and programs the forwarding path for traffic. This means that when traffic enters the network, the ASIC can direct it to the right place based on the rules you've set, and finally, the traffic flows through the network as intended. Okay, let me say that again, but faster. First you write the config, then the apps read it, then the ASIC is programmed, and finally the traffic flows. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's summarize the roles. Config DB. It's the big library holding all your configuration settings. Think of it as the source of truth for your network settings. APPLDB. It's the warehouse where different networking apps live and work. These apps use the config from config.db to make decisions about how to handle traffic. ASIC DB is the translator. It converts the instructions from the apps into something the hardware can understand. Hardware or ASIC. It's the physical switch chip that actually makes the magic happen by directing traffic based on the rules. So basically, SONiC takes your high-level instructions, breaks them down into smaller tasks for different apps, translates those tasks into something the hardware can understand, and then makes it all work together in harmony. That's why I call it a layered system. Each layer builds on top of the previous one, making the whole thing more organized and easier to manage. But wait, there's more. This architecture has some awesome benefits. First off, it separates the control plane, which handles all the fancy decision-making, from the data plane, which is responsible for moving the actual data around. This separation makes it easier to develop, test, and deploy new features without messing up the existing network. Plus, it allows multiple applications to run side by side, each making the network more awesome in its own way. And get this, it even supports programmability, meaning you can automate tasks and make your network more efficient than ever before. It's like having a personal assistant for your network. Just tell it what you need, and it'll do it for you. In a nutshell, SONiC is like an orchestra. All the different parts work together in harmony to create beautiful music. And you, the network engineer, get to be the conductor. With great power comes great responsibility. If any part of the orchestra messes up, the whole thing could go out of whack. That's why testing and making sure each part works well is so important. Also, this architecture relies on a lot of moving parts, and keeping track of them can be a nightmare. That's where tools like Ansible come in handy. They help automate the process and make sure everything stays in sync. All right, that's a wrap. We've covered quite a bit of ground, so let's quickly recap. SONiC is more than just a data plane programming framework. It's a whole new way of thinking about building networking applications. With its layered approach, it makes it easier to develop, test, and deploy new features while keeping the existing network up and running. Plus, it opens the door to tons of cool possibilities like automation and programmability. But with great power comes great responsibility. Making sure all the parts work together like a well-oiled machine takes some serious testing and automation skills.